Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. This channel is about the Andaman Islands and I would like to share my knowledge about these islands and how to better plan a holiday for your guests who are intending to travel to the most beautiful part of India called Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Let me begin by telling you a bit about myself. So I am a Navy boy. I've been all around the world. My father was posted here in 96, 97 and that's when my love for these islands really came to form. And post that, for some reason, these islands have always been a part of my inner soul. They have always been a part of my life to the extent that whatever I am today is a byproduct of my love for these islands. I've been in Andamans now since 2005. And after working here and traveling the length and breadth, finally 5 years back I started my own travel company and a restaurant in the Andaman Islands, and here I am during the lockdown period to share my knowledge about these islands so that you can make a better holiday for your guests and give them a memory of a lifetime. So friends, let me begin by telling you the basics about planning a holiday to the Andaman. So friends, to plan that perfect holiday for your guests, you need a lot of patience, you need to do a lot of research, you need to understand your client requirements, and then aim for the perfect holiday for your customer. Okay, so you've just seen what it takes to make a perfect holiday for your customer. And I'm going to try to, with my experience, share with you some questions that we keep getting asked again and again so that you and your team can be better informed about how to make that perfect holiday to the Andamans. Let me tell you, I'm not a professional YouTuber, so you'll have to forgive me for any mistakes, but sometimes efforts are all that counts. Also, I'd like to tell you about this lockdown period. Why I came up with this idea was I was like, what do I do? There are no mails, there's no business, कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है. तो मैंने कहा यार, let me try to share my knowledge. So all of you who are watching, help me share this video. Remember, it makes a difference. So let's come across what the episodes are going to be about. So I've put together 30 questions that I feel are recurring questions that come for Andaman. I'm going to keep them crisp and short. And post this session, once the lockdown gets over, I'm going to actually travel to all the sightseeing places in Andaman, letting you know what are the practical challenges, the natural beauty, and what a customer would expect when he's actually there. So this is going to be followed by an actual length and breadth visit of Andamans, and let's see how it goes. So coming back to the question. So first question, why does someone travel to the Andamans? I say, why not? It has beaches, it has nature, it has amazing forest, it has amazing water sports, it has history, it has anthropology, it has a bit of the Japanese rule, a bit of the British rule. I say it's one of the most unique destinations in India. So I would strongly recommend anyone who's looking for an exotic getaway should consider traveling to the Andaman Islands. What is there to offer in Andamans? As I said, you can get beaches, you can get history, you can get nature, you can get sightseeing. If you are looking for excitement, you can do diving, you can do island excursions. If you're a honeymoon couple, you can get peace and solitude and time together. If you're a senior citizen, you can reach out to a part of your gratitude for the country by visiting Cellular Jail, paying tributes to Veer Savarkar. So there's really a bit about for everyone. If you're a family, your kids can enjoy beaches, they can swim in the waters, they can do some activities. You could have some really relaxing and unwinding moments in the pristine beaches of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay. So question number 3, how do I plan a holiday for my guest? The most important thing is to understand your guest budget before you start planning. What type of hotels does he want? How many nights is he looking for? Is he more of a nature traveler, or is he coming here for sightseeing? You know, my experience is there are 2 types of travelers. One set of customers are those who would like to cover everything. They want to come for 5 nights, 6 nights, they want to do all sightseeing. You leave them on the beach too long and they'll be like, hey, what do I do? I've visited the beach, now I'm bored. And then there are those travelers who know what Andaman is and they want to come here to get away. So I think we have to differentiate between the 2 type of travelers while understanding and suggesting itineraries. In a destination like Andaman, which is remote, it's very, very important to understand the client budget. So my humble request to you, before you send anyone a quote, please find out what is his approximate budget without the airfare. That will help us to suggest hotels and actually tailor make a package that is best suited to your customer requirement. The best period to travel, a lot of people keep asking the same questions, and I think it's very important. You know, you as an agent, when you're communicating to your customer, you must tell them what is the best period to travel. So again, in this there are 2 time zones. One is where the customer is inflexible. His kids' holidays are only in June and he wants to travel, so you have to plan a trip. Another is where the customer's schedule is open. So coming back to the schedule which is open, the best months to travel to Andaman are Jan, Feb, March, April up till 15th May. Now why do I say that these are the best months to travel? Remember, Andaman is a tropical island and you could expect rain throughout the year. However, these are some periods where you are guaranteed a holiday without the rains. This is also the period that there are no depressions, no wind conditions that form, which ensures that the sea is generally flat, the skies are blue. And remember, when you're thinking about islands, you are expecting the blue skies and the blue seas. So keeping that in mind, Jan, Feb, March, April up to May 15th are the best periods to travel. April, May does get slightly hot, but remember 86% of these islands are covered by forest. So at no point does it cause a bad holiday. Humidity is always high in these islands. And the other period where a guest would like to travel, well, it's always beautiful. The seas may get a little choppy, you may get rain, but otherwise you can travel anytime, except I don't recommend June, July, August, primarily because of the monsoons. But over the last few years, we have noticed that it does not rain throughout the day. It does not rain non-stop. It generally rains for an hour. Most of the trips do still happen even during monsoons. October, November, December is peak period in Andaman, but not because of weather conditions. It's primarily because of Diwali, Durga Puja and the Christmas period where people like to travel. So I hope that gives you an insight of what are the best periods to travel to Andaman. Is Andaman a luxury destination? Now, this is a kind of a tricky question, because a lot of you will, when you get a rate from us or some other agent, if you say that he's a premium client, you are going to be a little scared when you see the rates. One mistake a lot of people do is they put the price and match the expectation of the type of experience they're going to get. What I mean by that is, just because you're paying 10,000 a night in Andaman doesn't mean you're getting a 5-star hotel. So I think it's very important to educate your customer that Andaman is a slightly overpriced destination, and there are very valid reasons for that. Remember, everything comes from outside, even your milk, cream, tomato, onions, everything comes from Chennai and Calcutta. There is a logistic cost. Land is very, very expensive. You'd be surprised if I told you that in a place like Havelock, an acre of a land costs 4 crores, right? So manpower is very expensive. So that is why, and it's a seasonal business, demand supply is there. So that is why you will find that a holiday to Andaman is relatively more expensive than any other beach destination. But then that's a reality, and it's best to keep your guest informed about the same. So no, Andaman is not a luxury destination. It is a destination for the discerning traveler. It is a destination for a well-traveled traveler. But if you were to ask me, I had a guest who went to Six Senses. I had a guest who stayed in the best hotel in Bhutan. And he wants to come to Andaman, and he wants a similar type of experience, a fantastic car, maybe a Fortuner. He wants the best hotel and they have to have a butler. Then Andaman is not the right destination for him. Let me tell you, we have hosted Mr. Tata, we've hosted Hollywood celebrities, we've hosted Bollywood celebrities. But it's about managing the expectation, and all of them have loved it. But Andaman has to be positioned as an exotic destination, raw, naturally beautiful, but not luxury. Is Andaman safe? We get this question a lot of time because safety is an important concern today. So I'm very happy to inform you that Andaman is a zero crime destination. You do not have any type of robbery, harassment cases that have happened in Andaman. So it's very, very safe. You can leave your key on the bike. You can leave your helmet on the bike. If you're sitting on the beach, you can leave your bag, on the beach, and you will find that when you come back, it's lying where it is. The hotels are very safe. There are no cases of robbery that I am aware of. So overall, Andaman is a very, very safe place to travel, and of course we request all our customers to ensure minimum precautions that they take when they travel to any destination. Is it safe for single ladies? I think the single ladies today have become a very big market for as travelers, and I think it's important to understand their specific requirements. One of them is safety. So I can tell you this much, you are absolutely safe. Andaman is by far the safest destination for single ladies. You could be a single lady or you could be a group of ladies. I can assure you, you will have one hell of a time in Andamans. You may not feel this safe in Bombay, Delhi, Goa, even Chennai, as safe as you will find yourself in these amazing islands. Is it safe to travel with an infant? Well, I've got a 9-year-old daughter and I've traveled with my infant wench, length and breadth of these islands. So I would again put this in two parts. I think for an infant who's under 1, I would advise everyone to take precaution. Please carry the basic necessities of your infant with you while you're traveling. You may not always get from feed to food items. Even the hotels may not be able to meet every requirement of yours when it comes to the infant. So I would say that if it's an infant who's under 1, do carry enough basic necessities as you deem fit when you travel to the Andamans. Above 1 or above 2 is not an issue at all, and you don't have to worry at all. Of course, with any infant or any kid, don't leave them unattended. Don't let them be in the water unattended, and ensure you're always keeping an eye on them. Is Andaman disabled friendly? It's sad that I have to say this, but if you are on a wheelchair or do need assistance, I think Andaman is not the perfect destination for you. And again, we'd love you to travel to Andamans, but I don't want to inconvenience your guests. So to be honest, wheelchair facilities, while we ourselves offer for our guests in Port Blair, in Havelock there is a shortage. Also when you're on the beach, pulling a wheelchair is not easy. Boarding the ferries is also not the most convenient. So unfortunately, with a heavy heart, I think we may create we may cause some inconvenience to someone who's not, how should I put it, who's not able to walk around freely. But of course, most of the operators are always there to provide any assistance that is required. Most of the hotels don't have a disabled room or a bathroom. Many places there are no ramps. So to that extent, I would not recommend Andaman as the first choice for a traveler like that. Medical facilities. Again, this is a recurring question. A lot of people ask us that, what if something happens? What if there's a medical emergency? So let me break this into 2-3 parts. One is Port Blair, and the rest is other islands like Havelock, Neil, Diglipur. So Port Blair has a fairly large medical setup and well-trained doctors. So from a fracture to a mild rash to any urgent medical requirement, I'm not going into anything severe, can be attended fairly comfortably at Port Blair. At Havelock and Neil, these are primary health centers, so they have limited facilities. So anything related to a hurt and a fracture can be attended to, but anything more severe than that has to be referred to Port Blair. Just so that you know and are well informed, a ferry, most of these islands connectivity ends post evening, so you can't travel from a Havelock or Neil or Diglipur after 4 o'clock back to Port Blair. So in case of medical emergency, you would have to be at this destination, and the next day early morning you can be taken to Port Blair where treatment can be done. But as I said, it's always good to carry any medical medicines, medical essentials with you, especially if you could be suffering from high BP, diabetes. Then please do not depend on sourcing these when you come here. Please tell your guests to carry it when they travel. I hope you found the session interesting, and do subscribe to the channel to get more updates. Stay safe.